AK-47, Dula Magazine Safa Indal, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Baba.
Good right. I see you are busy here preparing for the weekend.
Yeah, I'm busy, man. We've got games under 13, 15, 17, and SAP. Okay. Tomorrow, it's over busy.
Before we get to that, I think we need to remind Ama 2000 that who is Sandile, AK-47 Ndlovu. So if you can just briefly take us through your football journey, where did you start, and up until the day you decided to hang your boots?
I'm Sandile Ndlovu. Abalandeli bebhola bangibiza ngo AK-47. Kahle kahle ngiqale ngimncane, ngiqale ngogoalkeeper le Sandile primary school. Ngivimba lapha, and then mase sengise high school. Ngajiwa ngadlala phakathi, ngidlalela i-team ekuthiwa i-Highlanders, ngidlalela i-Ramblers. Ngasuka ku-Ramblers ngaya kwi-Highlanders. Mangisuka ku-Highlanders ngase sengithathwa iSobantu. iSobantu ke yona ke yangiveza ngoba we played ama-playoff at Skawini le Empangeni, Castle League playoffs, and I was a top goal scorer in the play of the season. That's when I think amateam amaningi angibona ke lapho ukuthi hey nasi isibhamu esincane, although babengasazi ngoba bengiseunoname, ngisaziwa nje la eMosque eMadakanini eMachibisi. So mangisuka ngathathwa iSundowns mayengithatha ngadlala kuSundowns 2003, 2004, 2005 season ngase sengilona kwiDynamos. La khona ke kwa inventwa khona i-AK-47 because ngangidlala ngishaya amagoli lapho kwiDynamos. Basesebethi hayi u-AK-47 ke lo abalandeli.
That is the season where you were named Players Player of the season, 2004-2005, right?
Yes.
And you had a wonderful combination, Nokoloba, Lapuntokozo Skakan.
Yes.
How was that combination? How did it come about? Because if I remember correctly, he was also on loan from Chiefs. And you were on loan from Sundowns, and you made it Dynamos.
Yes.
How did that combination come about?
It was a bit difficult, to be honest with you, because there was when BesamaZulu. In fact, mina ngifike leParabo vele sebefikile sebeqalile camp. So mangifika khona ngibathole khona badlala amakhadi nje ukuthi ngabanaphi, because I was coming from Sundowns, of which I didn't know anyone ukuthi bebuya ku Chiefs, even no danger to Bejani. I didn't notice ukuthi they were also there. So masijima ke sihlangane because of ukuthi sisamaZulu, because ngale bekhulunywa isishangane, ukhulunywa iSpedi, ukhulunywa isiTswana. So manje umuntu nje wade fika le goal ebholeni ubengakabi familiar with those languages. So I had to stick to those guys who were from KZN. Just nje ukuthi to take you through to a combination. We had a fight. It was not easy for us because at some point I remember besi Jima Untokozo, you wanted to pass me. So I didn't want that. Ngoba mina dingenza ama-runs. So yena bekufanele na alidwe mina kwi-run bese angiphasela. So there was a physio by the name of Uspiwe Makhoba. I remember he shouted at us and athi yena, you know what boys, I'm happy if we would lento le niqabanisayo lapho izo yisi-team phambili. I think that's when the combination started, because yena he's a short-tempered guy. He was angry. Wasesethi kuyena wathi ngimkhame ngamaphasi. So mengikhamba ngamaphasi kanti nami ngifika vele ngilindile ukuthi
umuntu wrong.
Usho umuntu wrong kakhulu. So mengikhamba ngamaphasi, hayi meshaye iphasi ayingishaye net. Ashaye iphasi ngishaye net. Ashaye iphasi ngishaye net. Hayi kubonakala ngempela ukuthi ayingeke. Ngathi khona i-AK la, ngathi khona nosikhakhane la. Hayi sanoma sesimuva ke lapha eGiyani sihlala endaweni endlini eyi-1 sonke. So nje i-bond and friendship and brotherhood sakwazi ukuyikhonka lapho.
Yasiyabonakala nasegroundini.
Yabonakala nasegroundini ukuthi hayi ngeke abantu bahlala kwaba ngathi siphaselana sonke kanti uSandile Ndlovu bekwazi ukuvela.
After that impressive season, you went back to Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, ngaya kuSundowns with that thing of good manje AK, and obviously we needed a cup. I was a top goal scorer at Dynamos, and player yabo ave kumnandi kokuhle ukuthi uvotelwe ama player akuvuma athi ya cha siyakuvuma ndoda wena oshayile. Yes, iladuma nani bangayenza ngendlela yabo according to ama votes wabo.
Yes.
But I was happy to be voted by players. So mangifika ku Sundown, no, things were fine because at the beginning I remember we were supposed to go to South Korea, and I gave them my passport late because bakunama issues of indaba yesalary yami, and two, there were teams akade engifuna ukuthi ngizowadlalela, of which now I felt ukuthi okay, mhlambe I was ready ukuthi mhlambe ngodlala. At the very same time I wanted to prove myself with Sandile ukuthi okay, njengoba ngihambisile ngizobuya futhi ngikwenze lokho engikwenzile ku Dynamos. So mangibuya khona, and honestly Sandile ngakora, I think ngakora mhlambe 12 goals if I'm not mistaken. Ngene ngesub ngikore, ngene ngikore. Ngaba ne surprise ukuthi the following season futhi base sebengilona kwi Maritzburg. But kade ngikora ngidlala ngikora.
So at that time did you still believe ukuthi you can still be a big player at Mamelodi Sundowns? When they loaned you out, you thought, okay, I can go to Maritzburg again, do the same thing I did with Dynamos and come back, be a big player at Sundowns?
Honestly speaking, it was a last-minute transfer. Because ngayenza i-pre-season with the team, sahamba sadlala ama-friendly game. I was part of the planning, your coach. Angazi ukuthi kwenzakalani, and ngathola i-calls nje on the day wathi wafuna ngihambe ngema-office, and kwakuyi last day of lento i-win lalivalwa ngalo langa 12. Kwathiwa kufanele ngihambe ngiye e-office ePark Town. Mangifika khona nangu usenzo Msimanga, ukuthiwa hayi mina ngizosayina ne-Maritzburg, ngiyalonwa khona. Yeah, I was a bit disappointed because I felt ukuthi ngibakhomisile ngenza something with Sundown, we come back here. But again, it's football. Then mangiya ku-Maritzburg with that thing of ukuthi ya engizoba sekhaya, eduze wasekhaya, obviously ngizoperform. Because mina I always tell myself ukuthi noma ngathiwa yiphi team engiyidlalelayo ngizowakora ama-goal, because ijob yami is to score goals.
Yes.
So scoring goals, when I get people abazongiphasela ngizowasha ama-goal. So unfortunately ku-Maritzburg I get carried away because out of 10 people at the bench I'm fat. About 8 bakhona babethi angikho fat, kodwa about 2 bethi ngifat ngakuboni lokho, because I had problems banjwa amaphoyisa with drink and drive, because I was AK-47 with team encane. At the end of the day I felt that was not a right choice for me to come back home, because when you come back home you are too relaxed.
Yes.
But because of that ukuthi ngistubborn, mangibuyela ku Sundown the following season bese bethi bona hayi it was Ikasin, because I remember the rumor said to Gordon Ikasin, he said if I can score 9 league goals uzongibuyisa ngithathe. So unfortunately I scored 8 goals for Maritzburg. So ngasho ukuthi angegole elilodwa ukuthi ngibuyele ngibe kuma plans Ikasin. Kodwa ke it was a blessing in disguise, because ngakwazi ukuthi ngiphume ku Sundown like nje indayisa Swallows. Ngafika ku Swallows ke ngafika ngakora amagoli ku Swallows because I was not home. And I was reviving igama la AK la Sandile Ndlovu. So I had to work hard because angeke ngimkhohlwe ucoach uNkorowa, because uNkorowa wangipusha le fat engangiyiyona iyehla. Ngazizwa nami ukuthi yabona manje sengiyi professional soccer player, and I started scoring goals with Swallows.
Then how do you then move to Bloemfontein Celtics?
Celtics, even Celtics, I was a bit disappointed because my last season at Swallows I was a top goal scorer. I left there and be top goal scorer with Swallows, and kwaba ne-confusion yama-agent because I had to leave the agent ngingene kwenye agent ngiphinde ngishiye futhi le agent le ngoba ngibona ukuthi kwiSwalozi mangifika kuSwalozi Leon Prince he said to me we're gonna give you this much because you've been naughty eMaritzburg. We're gonna give you this much. Mina I must earn ukuthi ngithole imali engangideserve. So ngiphushe le 2 season ngibe unumber in fact ngaba unumber 2 ngoba uJames Chamanga waba na 15 ngaba na 14. Although uJames Chamanga wasesedlala eChina mina I felt ukuthi I was supposed to get that top goal scorer yesizini yami yokuqala kwiSwallows because bese sekuyimina istriker seSwallows uJames Chamanga engekho.
Okay.
Yeah. So the second season ke ngasebenza ngalentoza ngakwazi ukuthi ngiyithole i-top goal scorer. So manje it was a matter of ukuthi manje sengibuyela phela mina ku Leon Prince ngithi cha Ndlovu. Phela you remember mangifika la. Yabo fortunately Ndlovu angikhohlwa. Ngathi you remember mangifika la you said to me I was a naughty boy at Maritzburg United. And savumelana sathi yes because amaphepha engaqamba manga. Vele ngangitholakele ngilento zile ngiphuzile. Ngase ngithi mina ke ngathi kuwena anginankinga. Yabo? Nginike lokho nginika kona mina ngisebenzile for 2 seasons manje ngikora amagoli ngifaka team ngawusa win iNetbank sangena kwi top 4 ngisebenzile nginika imali kwase kwaba inkinga emalini. So manje I had to exchange agent because I felt ukuthi mhlambe iagent yami yayingangikhulumeli sasingaculi ingoma eyi1 nayo.
Okay.
Yeah, yabo because even at Sundown when mangibuyela ku Sundown from Dynamos iDynamos yayinginikeza u2 kodwa yena afuna ukuthi ngibuyele ku Sundown uthi iSundown inginikeza u5. So ngabona ukuthi no sekwenzakele kaningi lokho ngcono ngizame mhlambe omunye umuntu ozongikhulumela. So kwaba nenkinga ke lapha because they were agents in fact they were managers eceleni angifonela athi no lungisa lento yakho ngoba thina siyakudinga la kuma team amakhulu engiwasha amagama awo. Utho mhlambe usekulate. Hayi le agent oyithathile asithandi ngoba yathathela inye player yalisa kwenye indawo. Yabo kwaba naleyo confusion. I ended up ukuthi okay ngiye ku Celtics. Na ku Celtics futhi mangifika khona. Ngafika ngamiyeka futhi le agent ngayixosha nayo. Because ibingitshela ukuthi mina angehlise imali kakhulu ku Celtics. Because I ended up ngikhuluma mina no Jimmy. No Jimmy post le lento ye-Celtics. Because ngapheka amabhegi wami sengithi ngiyahamba wangifonela wathi awusondela e-office sakhuluma sasayina i-script contract sasambisa. Wathi kusasa ufike ubanikeze lento e-office ngiyakusayina. Because ukhoshwe laphana I felt ukuthi he was not interested with service yami.
And who was the coach at that time?
Coach Ndlovu.
Okay.
Because ngajima inyanga yonke lapha. Kwakulinda ukuwalaza, ufuna kufika uwalaza. So ngaze ngabonana neboss yangisayina iboss. So ngadlala khona emayiqala ngisidlala uMawunge Cup ngithola ama man of the match, ngithola ama cup. Then ke kwaya ngabe ngisadlala.
Why do you think you stopped playing?
I think Nama was frustrated kakhulu in such a way that Bloemfontein ifana neMaritzburg incane. So whatever you do eBloemfontein uyabonakala nangu imoto yaseNdlovu lapha etshwaleni. Yabo? So nangu Sandile Ndlovu even if ngathiwa angiphuzi because mina I've never ngaba ku wall to any team engayidlalela yona angaze kwathi uSandile Ndlovu akazange ejimini because of this and that. But I think mhlambe angizange ngisaba mhlambe kuma plans ecoach or angizange ngisaba ifavorite ya Owen. Because even ejimini I'll tell you one thing ejimini bengikora ama goal. I remember there's a game we played friendly game we played I scored 4 goals. Ngathi kuyena ngathi kubona hayi kuyafana awuna chance uzongifaka njengoba ngikhola kanje kukhona noJim but wangangifaka.
So utshela umphathi and the coach
angithi bakhala lapha basibukela manje naku mina ngishaya 4. In fact we were playing 11v11 I scored 4 goals. Ngathi mina hayi ke you know when you are frustrated uyakhuluma nje and there is this name uthi uSandile Ndlovu and you feel ukuthi why bengangidlalisi because bayabona naba ngaphansi ukuthi ngiyaperform even amajita mangisikhuluma namajita uyangifaka angangifaka kodwa makuthiwa mhlawumbe siyadliwa afuna ukungifaka yabo so even kuMaritzburg kwenzeka kanjalo ku professor uprofessor Ngubane same thing yenzeka ku-Owen nakuMaritzburg kwathi kulimela istriker zonke kusele mina kweMaritzburg bangangifaka hawu wahamba nabantu abaseBloemfontein bamba nama-player u-15 or 14 if I'm not mistaken mangikhumbula kahle ngamtshela ngathi awuna chance istriker zonke ilimele kusele mina kuphela hayi bangangifaka but-ke sayilungisa-ke no-coach professor ngoba wangitshela ukuthi why kwakumele angangifaki because of there is this contract esike siwasayini ukuthi once you play certain games there is some percentage or there is a lump sum that you will get makuphela season so wase sekuthiwa ungamdlalisi ngoba sekusele one game
and makayidlala le game he will qualify for that lump sum
so wangichazela-ke uleto ucoach wami ngala ku-Owen azange ngichazela but I remember when we were playing I think it was I think the last game dlale Orlando nePirates kwacatshana but ngase sengibona i-team list sishintshiwe igama lamade likhishiwe selibuyele kuxabana kungezwana between i-boss and Owen kuma-change room sathi mase sibona kusho ukuthi bese selikhishiwe igama lami nomkhanyiseni Swazi sase sesibuyela so it was one of those things nje kwi-life yami e-football mhlawumbe ekuthe mase sekuzophela kwabonakala ukuthi hayi ngeke ngathi sekuyaphela nami ngadecide ukuthi yazini angivethane ngiliyeke ibhola ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi kuzoba nezinto eziningi manje sekuzo-end up mhlawumbe nami sengithi coach indaba ungangifaki because a player cannot ask a coach ukuthi coach indaba ungangifaki yabo unless ucoach ezokubiza akutshela ukuthi fanele uqinise lapha but mina I was not even getting that
so you get to a point where you are so frustrated you think maybe I must just hang my boots.
Yeah, because I said to myself, 15 teams with PSL, I want phone. I tried, I called every coach because manje bese sekuyimina kuphela bese ngina agent. Ngafonela wonke ama coach angabuyeli kumina so I felt ukuthi afonela ama coach ku Glada kwathuleka ngathi mina yazini awuthi ngivethane ngiliyeke ibhola. Because angizange ngidlale nanokuthi mhlawumbe ngithi ngiya ko Vodacom ngithi kulongeke ngavele ngathi awuthi ngiliyeke ibhola ngathi ngiliyekile ibhola mhlawumbe 2 years down the line ngabizwa ichipa yanginikeza 6 months ngoDecember ayangibuyisela back to square one hawu ukuthi ngifuna ngabizwa futhi iRoses shuthi there were those people ababe believer ku service ya Sandile Ndlovu bese kuba ukuthi mhlawumbe abazi ukuthi mina ngase sengiliyekile ibhola hayi after iRoses hayi ngathi mina ngeke no
sekwanele
athi ngiyeke athi ngizama ukuthi ngibone ngendlela
but do you believe that perhaps the incident that you mentioned that happened here at Maritzburg, drunken driving, created a reputation that maybe many clubs thought you were an ill-disciplined player who gets drunk and doesn't take care of himself, and that perhaps affected your career?
Exactly, I do believe in that. And to be honest with you, even my boys there, I always tell them, I don't want you guys to be like me. I want you guys to be better than me. I mean, I've done 1, 2, 3 Epole, and to career. I'm coming man, but because of that mistake, actually, more phuza, but you cannot phuza ukuze kuthiwe ubanjwa amaphoyisa kuthiwe ilimit iyatshwala iyeqile yayibona so ngicabanga ukuthi that incident yaba ne-impact kwi-football career yami because wonke umuntu mangifika kuyena uzothi vele okambe uyaphuza la even eBloemfontein mangifika khona eBloemfontein vele ngangibhekiwe ngoba kuyaziwa ukuthi uSandile Ndlovu wephuza eMaritzburg.
But when on your side, do you admit that perhaps wawuphuza excessively to a point that it is understandable why team will say asimfuna uSandile uyahlupha?
No, mina ngangiphuza ngihambe ngendlela ngolala. My friends, they can tell you. I wonder even if you can interview abangani bami ebholeni, they will tell you mina noma ngathiwa kuhanjwa ngebhasi mina bengihamba ngemoto yami. You know why? Because mina mase ngifuna ukuhamba ngendlela ngiyahamba ngendlela. Yayibona bengazi makujinywa ngakusasa kumele ngihambe ngendlela. It's just that it was unfortunate ukuthi ngibanjwa amaphoyisa nakhona it was 0.25 engabanjwa ngawo ngiphuzile ilimit yakhona kwaku 0.24 so but yenzeka leyo nto leyo i-mindset yomuntu obviously izoba nako lo ukuthi that is why no Leon Prince wathi I'm a naughty boy mangifika khona but ngamprove wrong ukuthi no I'm not a naughty boy because ngakwazi ukuthi ngikora amagoli ngilentoza ngidlale ngikora amagoli ayo ngakora kusona
Kacheni, you'll say if you perhaps don't want to get into it because in the past we've seen ex-footballers struggling financially and sometimes we say laba bahola kakhulu bayidlile imali and we are not sure of their salaries of actually how much do they earn before we can even say abantu they got millions and they blew them. When in your career, what was your highest salary and where was it, in which team?
The highest salary yami yaba ku Celtics. Although ngeke mention a figure, but my highest salary is ku Celtics. What I can tell you, my brother, is each generation I found. There's not even a single thing engiregretayo ngemali engangihola nange football yami. Because as fun as it. At that time, I think I was driving Mangdali Sandile from Dynamos. I was driving a Gold 4 leyo kuthiwa iManyathela. Ngaleso sikhathi iGold 4 leya Manyathela iGold 4 eshisa ifana neGold 8.
Yes.
So i-currency or imali ngaleso sikhathi sasi happy ngale mali esasiyithola. So these boys now whatever they are getting, even if you can get paid a million, isikhathi samanje nesikhathi sakudala sifana. Akumelanga thina as ama-ex-professionals or ama-legend or ama-masters sibe nomona wokuthi lo mfana lo simbona edra ngoba mina bengidrayiva mina i-BMW i-coupe amakhulumane engirespect ngalowo kade sengidlalela iSwallows. So manje akumelanga kube ukuthi mina sengifela umona abafana abadriver imoto mhlawumbe enkulu kunaleyo. Yebo. Ayikho into engathi ngiyayiregreta ngalesa sikhathi nanokuthi imali sayidla thina imali ngendlela yethu njengoba beyidla nabo labafana imali
ayishaya Kacheni.
Yeah, bayidla ngendlela yabo. Uyayibona.
Yeah. Okay. So in your entire career, Kacheni, what would you say is your biggest achievement?
Football. Football. Hey, win players play of the season.
That season, we shine it.
I was in fact I was introducing myself to people because people they know me la Marisburg. But those abantu base South Africa and base emhlabeni wonke bebengangazi. So I had to introduce myself. Mind you, bengiphuma kwi Sundown ngidlala amasapha u3. Kade ngizibona ukuthi yazini I deserve to play la. But ngangakhona kwafika uDoleza wase esengisa kwi bengilona kwi Dynamos. So I had to show people ukuthi yazini, because I'll tell you one thing. Madala with Dynamos, I was with the late Atapadman, and he once said to me, Sandile, this is not SAP. Ngeke ukore 4 goals no 3 goals la. Ngathi ngalalela mina ngizokukhombisa. And mase sengiqala senkora kwaphela lo. Now because I knew ukuthi mangithola ichance mina ngizokora. It depends how many chances engiwatholayo.
So as long as they create,
as long nje bezongcreate la untokozo bangicreatela umhlambo uSolmeti oVusi Dlamini oClass Khalane baningi nje lapha ku Dynamos kade be talented gifted yabo. So ngangazi ngoba ngimtshela osethi yeah no cash no it's fine, you can relax today. Yeah, you can relax today. Ngoba uyabona ngempela ukuthi hayi ngeke lo muntu ufike ngempela.
In your career, what would you say is the most embarrassing moment?
The embarrassing moment ngageja igoli ngidlalela iRoses. We were playing Santos ebusuku Cape Town. Shuthi kumele kwavele kwabamnyama amehlo. Kwavele kwabamnyama because la shawa ibhola lo mfana lo walihead ibhola ukuze ngithephe in. Ngathi ngithepha in ibhola la vele la spina nje la. So after that coach coach I'll tell you now Benjamin Reid.
Yes.
Ngagcina lapho ukubona ischeme. And I think that's when I said to myself.
So did he say anything to your azangasho lutho wavela keep scheming?
And bebe loke be abafana phela mina bengayena lo mfana lo umfana lapha ebholeni bebazi.
So you senior player?
No, in fact bebazi abafana akakhuluka noma yini la kumina. Even Sundown noma kubebazi abafana ukuthi ayingeke ngavela ukhuluma. So bona bengihleba ukuthi ish ayingathi ish because wabuza ukuthi what happened with ish I don't know. Yabo so they were like emakhoneni but ish yabo lona angavela ngathi mina yazini ukuthi ngiliyeke ibhola
ushiye phansi.
Yeah, ngaze ngicabane nabantu ngaze ngishaya umuntu uhlamathi ukuthi ngiliyeke.
Best coach in entire career, who was your best coach? The coach that you felt with under this one, he improved you, he made you a better player, and you also played well.
Julia Lilo, the Brazilian coach.
Oh, Julio Lilo, yes.
The Brazilian coach. Swallows, the Brazilian coach. And I never between Oscar Papic. Yeah, because you know, I'll tell you one thing. You'll never have a best coach if your coach unga interact nayo engakufili. Yabona those coaches will sit down sometimes bangitshela ukuthi yazini. I remember at some point uPapic wathi yazini Sandile la kuMalispek. Mongakhona nje khona lodwa usuqedile. That coach is giving you ukuthi ngiyakufaka Sandile but ngicela ukuthi wonke inkulumo ekhulunywayo ngicela nje ukuthi excuse me ungikorele igoli nje mhlambe ngishaya 2 afike yabona they are pictures enginawo mhlamba ama pictures lawa kudala kwawogalo images ilabo coach wabona ukuthi noma ngikhuluma nabo bethatha isithombe mhlambe ama entertain. I think ilawo ama pictures enginawo la obo coach ekubonakala ukuthi yibona de ngiclose.
You had a good relationship.
Yes. Noma bethi hayi akakori yazi ujula wenze njani ngingakori mhlambe sekusele mhlambe 4 minutes angangikhiphi bathi abantu angangikhiphi ngishaya 2 bese yaphenduka abuza abantu ukuthi benithini.
Ngiyabona.
So those coaches were my best coaches.
Toughest defender you ever faced?
Lo mfana lo wangimaka lo mfana wangimaka lo balo ujale not ujale ujele. Happy Jele wangimaka ngivutha ku Dynamos. Angimkhohlwa wangimaka and I think kwako mhlawumbe koyi second or third game yakhe. Wangimaka Happy Jele wangimaka Happy Jele. Awuyena wangimaka Happy Jele.
Keeping ka.
Hayi laba baye bonke banemvimbo yami bonke la.
Bakwazi kahle.
Hayi Happy Jele noma ngakona kodwa hayi wangimaka. I think sasidlalela mongathi uyaye ngaso Carltonville udlule sengikhothi le ndawo le lapha sadlala khona sadlala ne Cosmos ne Pirates sidlala we cup. Hayi wangimaka lo mfana lo hayi ngiyamvuma ngimaka kanye ngaleyo game phela.
Yeah, lo game.
Yeah, ilo game phela. Hayi bonke banemvimbo yami.
Your best goal, you've scored many, but which one would you say this one was my best goal in my career?
Yazi mfowethu mo I think you must that question you must ask Craig Etafia when I was playing for Dynamos. You must ask him what happened with my second goal.
He will answer.
Thanks to cheaper soulmate. Angashaya enye head lapha uCraig Etafia kazangazi ibhola ukuthi wabona uCraig Etafia sengekhoneni engazi ibhola ukuthi lingene kanjani. So that was one of my best. The local I think I shot hat-trick lap against Morocco Swallows. Yeah, the second one was super.
Top. Yeah. And your best game, all the games you've played, the one that you felt you were on top.
It was against Black Leopard. Dynamos versus Black Leopard.
Limpopo Derby. We were losing 3-0 first half. But we shot 3-0. Siyabuya nje 3-0. Hayi saxoxa la madoda amakhuthaza ayingeke madoda. Hayi sabuya
I think ngashaya 2 lapho uThokoza washaya 1 ngazi ukuthi Nuba washaya Linsa winner for 3. That was the best game.
Okay, no, we've dealt with your career now. I'm sure I'm 2000 know who is AK-47.
Yeah.
Between that time you stopped playing and the establishment of Sandile AK-47 Ndlovu Foundation,
Yes.
what were you doing in between?
Okay, let me see. Okay, I love the business. I had a butcher. Because I remember nje mangibizwa yiland mangibizwa iRoses sokugcina bangiphazamisa kabi kwibusiness lami. I had a butcher elokishini eMbali igcwala nje ku right. Nginendawo futhi lapha eNzansi eCrossini esebenzayo ize ngiyithanda imali. So manje I must always think ukuthi ngizoyenza kanjani imali. I'm not saying ukuthi ngijaha imali ukuthi ngibuyele kulo Sandile Ndlovu cha. Ngijaha imali ukuthi laba senginabo ingane zami zikwazi ukuthi
Yes.
ngibe right nami kubantu. When I present myself I must always present myself professional to people. Yes. Although sengimdala but I still don't do things nje in front of abantu ukuthi uzophuza nophuza noma kanjani because I understand ukuthi ngimdala ngiyaphuza but I cannot just ubona uSandile uphethe court yabo. I cannot do that because I still regard myself as a professional ex-professional soccer player. So ngiyathanda ukuthi ngikhale ngi-right ngiyathanda. After that mase sengibuya lena ke ngane lucky ke ngathola umsebenzi wokucoacha la first team at St Nicholas. Mangicoacha ke kuvuke neSanef ngilo ngicoach St Nicholas kuvuke neSanef. So yeah I think ngalentozo ngasebenza kanjalo ukuthi ngikwazi ukuthi ngisustain impilo yami.
So Sandile AK-47 Ndlovu Foundation, how does it come about, when it was formed, and in terms of Farmer Division, because I see you've got young boys here, different ages.
Yes.
So how is it structured, team?
Sandile Ndlovu isuka under 11 yak under 19. Although my under 19 udlala ku SAP. Mangifike St Nicholas I decided ukuthi no man. Because ngeke ngaba ne-BS Academy eKasi. So mangise eMbali la ekhaya ngabo sengishiftile ngala because lama facility la awayo ilento St Nicholas. So ngathi mina man, let me just try and because I remember we were coming from kunama game la ama high school tournament bayibiza nge-FA Cup. But no man, let me try and get these boys inyana la ngibahlanganise ngiqale ngibajimisela lapha kulela ground lapha ekudala. So ngaqala nga5 hayi kwanyuka ngobabona manje bebangaka. Lona abanye abekho babaningi because abanye sebangezi ngoba sesiqedile sesiyaqeda manje SAP nalabo abancane abekho abake Friday. So base sengithi ke ake ngizame ke ukuthi ngiqale ngo5 ngalonginyuka nje wangafika la sengifike khona.
In which year was this when you started?
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
And when you started, what was your vision? What would you say, okay, what I'm starting now, I have a vision. What is the end goal?
My aim even now, aim yami is to take these boys and play against my team now, professional. Because I want them to get used to a professional setup. That is why I even said to them, guys, you know what you must do now? We must have you must be uniformed when you train. You must have a training kit. It's yours. But you must always come Moses Chimini ugoke i-training kit ukuze sibe uniformed. Ungabi i-rainbow. So kumele nje ubabona manje ukuthi uyakwazi ukubotha okay lo under 13, no under 15, no under 17, lo under 19. Then more promote uyabonakala oh hey sengipromotiwe manje sengiya lapha. Uyayibona. So ngathi angenze into efana naleyo ukuze kubonakale ukuthi bajiniswa a professional player. So aim yami kwaba ukuthi guys into engizoyenza mina, I'm not gonna play ama tournament inyana lawo akadlalwe, but mina I will take each in fact I'll take the whole development sambe samasodlala namazulu sonke sodlala namazulu nifike nibonakale because I cannot take uplayer li1 ngihambe nalo ngolukhulumela ngizobathatha bonke bahamba bafike badlale babonakala manje ngathathwanga ayikho inkinga sophinde sibuye futhi so yileyo nto emnyama of which isasebenzile because there are players abakwazi baye komazulu there are players abakwazi ukuthi bakhethwe like 3 weeks back I've got 4 players abakhethwa yile nto zani Swallows. I'm just waiting for Swallows mhlambe and praying ukuthi Swallows uthi yenze kahle so babonakala especially laba abanje abadlala under
19. One of the challenges of grassroots football is always funding. This project of yours here, like you say, you've got many divisions.
Yes.
And they require funding. How is it funded?
To be honest with you, a contribution of my parents iyona esiza ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi i-foundation iqhubeke. Other than that, Hollywood, they come there and there and help us, but it's not, they are not consistent. So, yeah, but I'm still, ngisazama, ngisafuna, ngisazothola futhi, so it's only funding. Because abantu, they cannot just fund you ngoba usandile Ndlovu.
Yes.
Bazokufunda abantu mabebona ukuthi into yakho ukuthi iyenzeka. So far iyenzeka because under my belt ohlongane sibajimisile bahamba bako USA manje. So siyazi ukuthi nabo mhlawumbe ngelinye ilanga mhlawumbe boyikhumbula iSanef but coach nanka amabhola noma u5 uyayibona lona. So zikhona izinto enginethemba lazo ukuthi ukhona umuntu mhlawumbe ozothi yazini I can see I've been following you legend ngicabanga mhlawumbe lokho ngakusiza yabo because namanje ubona ingane zizofika ziqhamuka kanje asina bus we're supposed to have a bus elana ezokwazi ukuthi ingane mayiphuma ejimini zihambe ziye etopini zihambise emakhaya but you don't have that but I know and I believe ukuthi ukhona umuntu wabantu oyikhampani or whoever ozothi yazini Sandile ngoba umsebenzi wakho moye ubone ukuthi muhle athi ngoba umsebenzi wakho ngiyawubona muhle awukuzame nayi itaxi nyana uzama ukuthi uzokwenza kanjani mhlambe ngabafana nanka amajezi awu5 mhlambe nanka amabhola yayibona I know ukuthi kokwenzeka lokho.
So in that team Sandile, like you have many divisions, how many coaches do you have? And when I take it, you coach a senior team?
Yes. In fact, I'm not coaching senior team per se. I mean, I'm an all-rounder because sometimes umzali awuphatheki kahle ukuthi ingane yakho ukubuze ejimsile uSandile because you must remember ukuthi abazali babelethe ingane la bayilethe kuSandile Ndlovu.
Yes.
Abanye abazali ba-understand ukuthi kunama division. Njobe u-under 13 it might happen ukuthi uzojinyiswa mhlawumbe ucoach wa-under 13.
Yes.
Njobe u-under 15 uzojinyiswa kanjalo. So they also want ukuthi babuze mhlawumbe ukujimisile ucoach hayi ngisho uSandile ungijimisile noma mhlawumbe umfana afika axoxela hey coach usigijimisile ke yabo. So mina this is what I'm saying. Yes ngiku first team but at the very same time ngiyaya kubo bonke laba because bakumele I'm not saying ukuthi coach basebenza kodwa kufanele ngibe khona nami kube khona into engizoyenza kulabo ukuze bakwazi ukuthi bathi yeah kwenzakele namhlanje.
No, I understand that because you know like you correctly say, some people send their kids here to be coached by Sandile, so they'll never understand why under 15 are coached Sandile.
Yes.
Yeah, but in the senior team, you say it's under 19 and they play with regional league.
Yes.
And ngiyabona abafana bayibancane Sandile abafana because regional league ikhona amadoda la.
Hayi kanti bancane bona ngeminyaka bano 17 18 19 bancane ngeminyaka kodwa inhliziyo yaveza enkulu. Yeah, because nje I'm proud of these boys. Kule season usilalelo 2 games manje. But basebenzile kakhulu because ngiqala ukubafaka la season kulento ku-SAP ukuze ngenzela ukuthi when they played against MDC ye-Chiefs or ye-Pirates or ye-Sandile ye-Maritzburg babe ready.
Okay.
Because angifuni ukuthi mabefika lapha babone ngathi bafit lapha abona bazobona mhlawumbe abafana balapha because bona bajima every day because thina sijima nge3 ngesonto Monday Wednesday Friday. So babone befit bese qala badala ngcono badlaleke nabantu abadala kukhona bezokwazi ukuthi babajwayele. So manje nje hayi Amabhubesi.
Coach, we in the regional league, there's a rule that you can have, I think, 5 under 20. You must have 5 under 21.
Yeah.
But your entire team is under 19.
I don't have a player who is 23, 24. Bonke amakhadi abo green.
So I take it your focus is on development, not necessarily to want to win the league and go to the APC Motsepe League.
No. That is why I said, you must remember, I said to you, my aim is to take these boys. Because masiyodlala mhlambe nama-team lawo, ngiyasho office ukuthi ngeke ngikwazi ukuza kuleli sonto. Ngeke ngikwazi ukudlala. Ngicela bangi-excuse. Ngisheshe ngisho kwi-league. Bese ngisacrifice ukuthi ngidlale 2 games. Mawuthi khona igame engazange ngiyidlala. No, it's fine. Ngangifisha kayi-2 kuleli sonto esakulona ngoba ngiyekile liyakhe ngoba phela mangibizwa ilento i-super sport bafuna ngigcume ngiye because emnyama ukuthi labafana babonakale kulama team la mangibizwa maze kuthiwa ndoda kuleli sonto efuna usondela kufuna ngigcume ngisondele bese ngicela i-office ngoba even i-office they understand ukuthi mina is not about winning the league. I-league boyiwine abona angithi as phela boyibheka lento le mawuqala u1 is not about winning the league, 2 is not, then they get experience kuzozenzakalela kubona abafana. But mina nje bayazi ukuthi no pressure, nina idlala libhola lindele sanefe silithandayo nidlala nikole manikora, but asinako lokuthi sifake ipressure. Yabona manje skip imali ini njengokuthi no they know that, but mabedliwa abadliwe kubonakala ukuthi yazini kodwa alwile amalayon asemalisbek.
As a coach, all coaches have their own philosophy and approach, tactical approach to football. Abanye bashaya route 1, abanye possession based and so on. Sanef, what is their approach to football?
I will keep the position with Sanef. But when we keep the position in order for us, because we're drawing our opponents. This is for spacing. In good ngayo kakhulu le because mase sifake spacing ibhola sethambe we playing i-right wing or i-left wing i-agent. What's important, the agent ukuthi okay sebe la bawu5 sadlala i-1-2 la sasisishaya i-2 pass noma sasisisho se-drive spacing sesiyagijima sesiyokora asacabangi ke manje ukuthi siyamaka sesicabanga ukuthi manje sisemapali ngoba vele sesimanazile abantu abangaki abawu5. Yeah, so ile angidlala itakataka ngidlala itakataka le korayo ngisho kanjalo ukuthi mina ngidlala i-tic-tac le
tic-tac yaseBarcelona,
i-tic-tac le yami le korayo yami ngoba uyakwazi ukuthi mayifika lapha ifika 5 cross iyakwazi futhi ifika uginga u6 yard. So ileyo mina philosophy yami ukuthi let's slow them ukuthi beze la in order ukuthi let's create space for us lapha abangasazi.
We know in South Africa we've had over the years problems with strikers. Most of the time you find that the leading goal scorers are usually players from outside South Africa. And there's always been that South Africa we don't produce enough strikers. Here one of the top strikers with PSL, yourself, you are training these boys. Can we expect ukuthi kuphume itrack evuthayo la?
Awunanga uhlongwane uphumile nje use-USA.
USA.
Uhlongwane use-USA nala basazophuma zikhona itrack ezisazophuma la. Although ngizokutshela I'm trying by all means ukuthi ngiyiphushe to an extent la ngithi khona yabona manje nazi i-striker ezi-better than me, but akubi kanjalo at some point. Uke ukhiphe ama-midfielder kade uyi-striker, thama ukhiphe u-goalkeeper, thama ukhiphe i-defender, yabo ngobani usuke ungafuni ukuthi ama-attackers enze lento leyo uyenza uthi mhlawumbe usuzokhipha mhlawumbe ukhiphe mhlawumbe an exceptional defender. Kuba rare ukuthi uthole mhlawumbe uzokhipha i-striker ekuthiwa hayi yabona lo mfana lofana nawo, but I'm trying to push. Why I'm doing that is because I cannot allow myself ukuthi team yami idliwe ingazange ikora. Ngoba kuthiwa uSandile kanjani
ukora nje
awuqosheke kuthiwa uqosheke Sandile uyabona.
Yeah, you were part of a generation of Maritzburg footballers, I think around the time yabo Skuda, or OJ, the late Vumile Dladla, the late Sibonile Dladla teenage. And that time our Maritzburg City ibhola lalishise Maritzburg. Yeah, now we have a PSL team. But in your view, do you think the standard we have has Maritzburg around areas Maritzburg maintained the standard in terms of producing top players?
Is it Maritzburg United?
No, not just Maritzburg United, the area of Pietermaritzburg and surrounding areas.
I can say siyazama. Yeah, siyazama, although they are not enough. They are not enough. And why I'm saying that is because there are a lot of players abagula team, but the problem is abadlali. Manje thina sasiya PSL sasifike dlala. Manje dlala futhi kubonakala.
Yes.
Manje we do have players. Like, look at Lowasekhaya. Is talented, especially Ndlovu, but he's not playing. You know, abantu abaningi they will never notice him. Njobe ese lapha kwi Pirates ukuthi is a quality player ngoba kadlala. Yabo. So there's a difference. Thina sasifika lapha sifike siphamise isandla. Sibonakala ukuthi ifikile ngempela Maritzburg. So lento ephuma Maritzburg. Awuyibona ngomunye futhi Maritzburg. Yabona. So ileyo nto leyo mhlambe thina coach baleyo generation ekumele sizame by all means to install labafana ukuthi mawufika lapha eThekwini noma ufika eGoli noma eCape Town hambuye lapha ungajabuleli ibheshi uthi ufake iskipper seSanef kufanele ungene udlala because at some point these boys they tend to relax because okay hayi ngipirate ngikusundown hayi sengiright kanti kufanele bazi ukuthi mabefika lapha bazele ukuzodlala njengoba bezodlala futhi into engithanda ngayo bafika bebancane bazele ukuzodlala ukuze baqhubeke baye bawudlalela bafana bawudlala overseas because akumelanga sibe nomona sithi thina angifuni umuntu ozoshaya more goals than me no yabo kufuna bakore bona if mina ngaskora 23 goals with Dynamos bona baskora noma 30
yes
sithi yes boy yeah umfana seMaritzburg ufundile kuthina ubani mina ngizothi ufunde kumina ngokora if ukuthi abakora yabo lona so ileyo nto le efunakalayo.
Last one Sandile, I think what you are doing here is very good. It's very important that even though nama challenges you are able to dedicate your time into with these boys, coaching them, exposing them, because I've seen you travel to Swallows to play with their MTC.
Yes.
I've seen you play Amazulu, so you are giving them exposure. But obviously you understand the issue of finances. What would you say to companies out there or business people who have the resources? Why must they come to Sandile AK-47 Ndlovu Foundation and invest their money?
They should, because uSandile lento ayenzayo ingaphakathi kuyena ila whether kuyanetha noma kunjani uyafika la yabona when you do something for the sake of ukuthi ufuna ukuba nemali or ufuna ukuba na something angeke ilunge so mina ngiyenza ngoba ngicabangela ifuture labafana. One, angifuni labafana laba kuthiwe oyozibanibani oyedlala, angifuni labafana laba ngihlangane nabo estratini sengibona abanye abafana, because into esenzayo la thina kaSanef we transform, siyam rejuvenate umfana ashintshe lesimo kade eyisona, ashintshe nasekhaya. Yabona nje, if I can send you ama messages from parents ukubonga ukuthi Sandile siyabonga ukuthi umfana wami useshintshile manje, kade short tempered, hawu nange esendlula umbhede, nange senza ukuthi, nange senza ukuthi, yabo. So lezo zinto enjalo, it's not about football per se, but it's education. We're pushing. We've got graduates la kaSanef abanye sebefunda koma lentozana koma varsity, because yabatshela isikole sibalekile.
Yes.
Ibhola liza kamuva ngoba ibhola it's a God-given talent. You can play your football even after 4 years or 5 years maze usuqedile ukufunda tertiary, because angifuni bafane nami. Mina might have mhlambe umatric wami nanokuthi ngiyakwazi ukuphatha abantu abangaka after football, mhlambe bona ngeke babe nayo lo lapha. So that is why bona kumele benze njani, kumele bafunde. So umuntu ongathanda uku-investa la kuSanef uzobe efaka kuleyo family enjalo, ecula into eyi-one ukuthi let's change, let's transform impilo yengane ibe yihle.
AK-47 Ndlovu Magazine Safa Indlala, thank you very much for your time, my brother, and all the best. Shalom.